Hello and welcome to a Not So Awesome review, and today we're looking at the Halo Spartan Collection Jorge 052 by Wicked Cool Toys. This figure includes his M247H heavy machine gun, his backpack, and 3 pairs of hands, which include a couple of hands to hold his machine gun, a couple of double pointed finger hands, a couple of single pointed finger hands, which I guess you could use for a gun, but we'll get into that in a second, and a single right fist. Aesthetic-wise, this figure looks great. Most Spartan Collection figures are only about 2-tone colors. This guy has a few different ones. He has a few different shades of gray, has that white, the red, the yellow, and it's just nice to see that they didn't skimp out and, you know, they actually did give him a good amount of detailing paint-wise. They also gave him the reflective visor, which is really awesome, but a little bit off because not every single member of Noble Team actually has that. Other than that, I think the figure looks really good, though there are a few issues with the figure itself, which I'll get into in a moment. So really quick, just going to take a quick closer look at his gun, which you can see he does have the ability to hold it, which is great. You can do it the other way if you want it that way. I put it this way here. But yeah, it looks good. They actually did do a nice amount of paint detailing here on the gun as well. You know, different colors of gray, the yellow, the green, a little wire coming through here. It's nice. It's actually really nice. We're going to get to this because that's going to be an issue. But yeah, it's overall really cool. There is no sidearm for him, unfortunately. No pistol or anything. I feel like, okay, they gave us the big gun. He comes with the backpack, which, to be fair, it's part of his aesthetic. It's part of how he looks in the game. So they could have just molded it on there. Cause the other issue is it just pops off really easy. Like, it feels like it goes in good. It really does. But then it just comes off. Otherwise, again, it looks good. There is a little bit of weathering detail. There's some silver paintbrushing and stuff on there. And it's really hollow, so it doesn't feel the greatest, but it's good because you don't want it to be heavy where he's falling backwards or he's falling forward, which is actually one of the only times I'm going to say I'm kind of happy this is a rubbery material, because if this was solid plastic, maybe he might be falling a little bit forward holding it. But anyways, I'm going to leave this off for the rest of the review just because, again, it pops off too easy. I might just super glue it in place, to be honest. There's no reason for him to not be wearing it, so yeah, kind of weird to me that it's removable. I do like that there is detailing here, and they did do some dry brushing on places where you're not going to see it, so I guess that's cool. But again, for me, since it comes off so easily, it's probably something that is going to be glued in. So before we get into articulation, there's a few things I want to mention about this figure. Let's see, can I zoom out a little bit? There we go. One, the legs are further back than they should be. The middle is like right here. You can actually see the middle from right there. Let's see, let's focus in, bring this thing closer. You can see where the leg ends right here on the side is where the middle of his body is down there, and that's where the peg should be. They did this with one of the Infinite Master Chiefs. I don't remember which one, but it gave him the issue where he couldn't really stand perfectly straight. Jorge doesn't so much have that issue. He does still have that vertical up, but I feel like it does hurt, especially his back movement. He could, you know, kick back a little bit if he just was in the middle there. I don't know why they put it back there. It looks a little bit weird to me. But yeah, overall, it is straight, so I'm going to give them that at least it is straight right there. Number 2 is he does tend to kind of just lean forward a little bit. It's not the loosest joint, but it's not the tightest. They've gotten tighter over time. This reminds me a little bit more of the original wave where they were really wobbly. Again, he's not too wobbly, and the fact that he can lean forward, first of all, great, that's awesome. It's not, you know, exactly where we wanted it to be, but I gotta give Wicked Cool Toys, you know, that kind of win right there, because he can lean forward even if it is just a little bit. It's noticeable, so I do like that. I'm probably still going to end up making my own anyway, because that's what I do. The cut for the joint, just to show, is straightforward this time. I want to say a few times they were doing it side to side. They go back and forth on how to do it, from what I remember, but yeah, just gonna put that back on right there. So there's that. And yeah, I think those are my two main kind of issues. The head is a little stiff on mine. There is still no pivoting, which sucks, but it is what it is. It's actually not that bad of a figure the more I handle it. When I got it out of the box, I was a little bit disappointed, but the more I'm messing with it, the more I'm liking it. So continuing with articulation here, his head can move up that much, which is noticeable. Move down about that much, which again is kind of noticeable. Look left and right. Again, no real pivot there. Arm can go out that much. Arm can go out that much. So they're both about flat, which is good considering he has that heavy, you know, armor right there. Doesn't really get in the way. He can rotate his arm right there. Rotate it at the upper arm. Does have double jointed elbows that do pretty good. That's 90 degrees on that one. Pretty sure it's going to be the same with the other one, which is great. The hinge back and forward at the wrist, and I believe it's the same for all of them. Again, he does kind of just have that leaning forward, but again, I do like that they added it. So he can crunch forward a little bit, can't really crunch back too much, and he can pivot side to side. Honestly, pretty good. That's actually really good. For Spartan Collection, great. That's an improvement. Love it. Anyways, legs can move up, forward that much. Can't really kick back. Can go outward that much. There is that shift right there at the upper thigh. There is that double jointed knee right there, which isn't the worst. Honestly, that's not horrible. I do feel like if they just cut a little bit more right here on the plastic, he could get just a little bit more. But for George, I'm good with that. That's not bad at all. I don't think I'm going to be modifying this figure too much. Anyways, bottom ankle back, forward, and there is that nice little pivot, and of course the toe joint right there. So articulation on this guy, they've definitely improved. Is it, you know, the best figure in the world? No, but they definitely, yeah, they did a good job. So I'm impressed. Honestly, I was ready to be a little bit annoyed when I saw how far back his legs were, but the fact that he can't stand up straight, that's a really big deal. The fact that he has more movement in the body here is great. If I can get him to stand. This is why I don't use this diorama too much, but I figured it would look better with these figures. He does kind of want to just fall back though, but I'm sure it's possible if you're not behind camera to get him into a decent enough pose. Like something like this. This isn't bad. This is definitely miles ahead of what they had before. Love the improvement. Hope they keep moving forward with these improvements. Hope the next wave, which is going to include Carter, I really hope that that's going to have like some updates with the figures, because this is a step in the right direction. Yeah, I'm happy with it. So a few things I do want to add here is he does have the little removable side pegs. If you have any extra pistols or anything from any of your other figures, you can pull that out, invert them, and then put the pistol on there, and then just slip them back forward if you want to do that, which is great. Glad that they included that. I want to say one of the other figures didn't have that. For some reason, they just made it so you couldn't. I don't remember who it was, but one of them, if I'm remembering correctly. Aside from that, yeah, just a really good, solid figure all the way around. So let's just get into some size comparisons really quick with him and the rest of what we have at the moment of Noble Team. So he is next to Kat. Both of them look really good together. Do like them. You know, she has her issues. She is an early, you know, wave 1 figure, but I do like seeing them together. Her helmet is the only thing that bugs me, but it is what it is. Hopefully, maybe we'll get a re-release of her in the future. They do enough Chiefs, so why not? Especially since they already have basically all of Noble Team done. It would be nice for the people who started late to be able to pick up Kat, which I know she isn't the hardest one to get, but still, it would be great to see an updated version of her. Next up here he is with June, who is modified. His backpack isn't on right now. I had to super glue that on, but I did make his little net thing here, and he does have the waist modification I do. So again, both of these look really good together. Don't really have any complaints, aside from they probably both need some type of a wash or something, because they are definitely a bit plasticky when you see them together, but again, love seeing it. Here we have him with Emil, who again, both of these figures look really good together. No real complaints here. Size is great. Yeah, just overall, I'm really enjoying seeing Noble Team come together. And here he is with you, aka Noble 6, and again, they look really good together, no complaints here. Aside from, again, his visor isn't reflective, which sucks because they don't match, and it's a little bit weird. I'm glad they went back to the reflective visors, but come on, just give us the reflective visor for this guy again. So, just putting that out there, but again, love it. And here he is with all of Noble Team assembled here. We're just missing Carter, and it's honestly great to see them all together. A few issues I have, though, is the fact that reflective visor, not reflective, not reflective. I really wish I had gotten the Spartan, the white one that came out in the first wave, because it is the same helmet. I would put it on him. I guess it's okay because he has that design. And for Cat, you can chip away at the blue and kind of reveal the reflection, which I might do. I really like the blue, but it's already chipping away anyway, so I might just do it just because it's already like that. But it is great to see this. You can see George does stand taller than everybody on the team, as he should be. He is big. He is bulky. It's just really nice to see this all together, coming together. It's been a long time since we've gotten Noble Team in action figure form in a complete thing right here. I believe that you can actually get them all in a Mega Block set that's coming out soon, and of course the McFarlane ones. But for something modern, this is great. Hopefully the World of Halo scale figures, put out their own version, because they have yet to do Noble Team at all. But this, honestly, I'm loving it. It's great. Nothing else to say here. Moving on. And lastly, here he is next to Master Chief himself, who is taller than George here. I don't know the heights in the game. I did not look them up before this review. But yeah, Master Chief's figure does definitely stand taller than him, at least in this toy scale. In case anyone's wondering, this one's kit bashed with like 3 different Chiefs. So just putting that out there. But yeah, man, Master Chief does make George look tiny here. It's kind of funny. Anyways, moving on. So overall, I'm actually surprised at how great this George came out. He has a little bit more articulation than some of the other figures. He looks good. They did a great job with the paint. Again, just my only real issue is the fact that his legs are a little bit further back, but it doesn't really hinder articulation as much as I thought it was going to, and he can stand up straight, which was my biggest issue with the Master Chief, who had the same kind of legs, because he was always hunched forward. Aside from that, the backpack is really the only thing that bothers me that much, and the fact that he didn't come with an alternate head. All of the Noble Team, I believe, aside from maybe Emil, came with a alternate head. Well, Noble 6 too, but I know Cat came one. June, I'm pretty sure, has his. I think Carter's coming with his, and we see George without his helmet in the game. So, I don't know why we didn't get one, but that's probably my only biggest downfall with this. Aside from that, it's a great figure. Definitely recommend it, especially if you're collecting for the Noble 6 line. Spartan Collection is definitely a must-have. And yeah, really not much else to say here other than I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And we have Spartan Kelly coming up next, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all later. Goodbye.